Which of these candidates would be better for Middle Eastern security and Middle Eastern peace?
Yeah, that's a really good question. You know, the problem with the United States, and it's not a problem of recent times, I think it's been a problem for us for a long time, is that we're not very confident in the way we move forward. We're always, one step behind, one step forward, one step backward. We don't have a unified policy that transmits between parties and between different administrations. There's no consistency to our policy. You have a president or you have a candidate running for president, President Biden, who says some terrible things about Saudi Arabia, for example. No, Biden, when he was running for president. What he said, that a pariah state and we're going to pay for this and that, not realizing that at some point, if he gets elected president, he's going to have to deal with this country and with its leaders. That's not the best way to start an administration. Trump becomes president. Iran attacks Aramco here. We know exactly where those attacks came from. We could have easily done something to, demonstrate support for Saudi Arabia. Trump didn't do anything. So it doesn't, for a country like Saudi Arabia, you could say, well, it doesn't really matter who's president. We can't really count on the United States very much when we really need to. That has to change in America. We have to become a more consistent friend to our allies and to our partners. And we have to develop more strategic relationships with countries like Saudi Arabia.
As we speak, the US Secretary of State Antony Blinken is on the ground in the Middle East, still trying to tie together this elusive ceasefire deal. Are those efforts in vain, in your view? And why bother doing this just days before the US election? What is he trying to achieve?
Yeah, I can't tell you that I know, I haven't talked with him, so I don't really know the purpose of his trip. I don't think that he's naive enough to think that he can get this agreement done at this point in time. I do think that, and if I was in his role, if I was in that role myself, I would be coming here because I would be hopeful, of course, as a Democrat and as a part of the administration, that the vice president would eventually be elected president. So I would want to come and start cementing that relationship a little bit. Not necessarily representing her, although he can because she is the vice president, but basically saying, with her, we're going to maintain a positive relationship. We're going to go forward with a strategic partnership with Saudi Arabia. That's what I think he should be doing here. That's what I would be doing. And maybe that's what he is doing. I don't know.
So can the US claim any sort of victory in the Middle East under the Biden administration?
You mean on this visit?
I would say over this term.
I don't think so. I don't think so. I think it's been a very inconsistent record. I mean, there have been areas where we have had some success. I think the president's visit here was important. And that basically just settled things down a little bit. But I think we need a much stronger relationship with Saudi Arabia. If for no other reason than to have a way to conduct relations with other big countries in the world like China and even Russia. Because Saudi Arabia is a big player because of its economy, its oil, its economic force, its leadership in the region. So I think we need more. Now, Saudi Arabia can also be a conduit for us to do more in Africa. The United States does almost nothing in Africa, in my view. We've lost so many opportunities there. And I think Saudi Arabia could be a partner with us in Africa to develop supply chains, to develop commerce, bring manufacturing into this region and into Africa. So we have a lot of opportunities to work with Saudi Arabia on so many positive things. And this country has a leader that is willing to do that is really energetic about transforming not only his country, but the region as well. So I'm hopeful that the next administration, whichever it is, will do that.